Everyone believes that buying a massive dream home is the ultimate mathematical proof of success. We are taught from a very young age that renting is simply throwing your money away, and that stretching your budget to buy the biggest house possible is the safest financial investment you can ever make. We assume that having a driveway and a perfectly manicured lawn commands respect from the world. But what if I told you that this exact mindset is mathematically guaranteed to keep you stressed, exhausted, and permanently broke? Society falsely believes that upgrading your living situation is the only way to build true generational wealth. We think a giant house is an asset that makes us rich, but the truth is exactly the opposite. Buying a house you cannot comfortably afford is a dangerous psychological trap. It is specifically designed to drain your actual liquid wealth, lock you into decades of invisible debt, and paralyze your financial future. We are so focused on looking rich that we completely forget to actually become rich. Before we dive in, remember, this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Welcome to TAF Finance, where we simplify investing, money, and financial psychology. The concept we are talking about today is the concrete prison. Think of buying a massive dream home exactly like buying a beautiful, luxurious cruise ship. Everyone wants to stand on the upper deck, hold a glass of champagne, and take pictures to show their friends. But what you do not see is the massive engine room underneath the ship. That engine room requires a constant, never-ending supply of expensive fuel just to keep the ship afloat. When you buy a massive house, you are not just buying the bedrooms and the kitchen. You are buying the invisible engine of property taxes, insurance premiums, maintenance costs, and mortgage interest. If your income drops or if you lose your job, that massive ship still needs fuel. If you cannot feed the engine, the ship violently sinks. A house is not a passive asset. It is a hungry machine. Let us look at the expectation versus reality trap that catches almost every modern educated professional working in the world today. Imagine a hardworking couple who just received a promotion. Together they make $120,000 USD a year. They have successfully saved $60,000 USD in cash. They feel a massive rush of accomplishment. Society tells them it is time to settle down and buy their forever home. They start touring open houses. Their primitive brain rapidly hits the emotional reward button. They find a stunning $600,000 USD house in a pristine neighborhood. It is slightly over their budget, but they justify it because the bank approved the loan. They put down a $50,000 USD deposit. They take out a massive mortgage. They feel incredibly successful. They proudly post a picture holding the keys online. Here's the problem with that plan. Their biological need for social validation completely hijacks their mathematical logic. To soothe their intense social anxiety and project success, they have trapped their future income in a cage of monthly payments. Their mortgage payment is $4,000 a month. But then the hidden engine room turns on. Property taxes suddenly increase by 20%. The massive roof starts leaking and costs $15,000 USD to repair. The air conditioning unit breaks and requires another $8,000 USD. Fast forward 10 years into the future. They make even more money now. But mathematically, their daily life is a complete and total disaster. The value of their house went up on paper, so they look incredibly rich on the outside. But inside their bank accounts, they have absolutely zero liquid assets. They are completely house poor. They cannot take lavish vacations. They cannot quit the jobs they hate. They cannot heavily invest in the stock market. By extracting all their cash to feed a depreciating concrete box, they literally missed out on over $300,000 USD in compound interest growth from index funds. They traded their absolute freedom for a guest bedroom that nobody ever uses. Contrast this exhausting, miserable cycle with the approach of elite financial minds like Warren Buffett. When legendary investors analyze wealth, they completely reject the popular instinct to upgrade their primary residence. Buffett is one of the wealthiest humans to ever exist, yet he still lives in the exact same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500 USD. He deeply understands that a primary residence does not produce cash flow. It consumes it. When elite investors get more money, they do not buy massive mansions to impress strangers. They buy boring, highly productive assets. They buy businesses that pay them dividends. They buy broad market index funds. They ruthlessly disconnect their ego from their living situation. They know that keeping their housing costs aggressively low allows them to deploy massive amounts of capital into systems that actually generate wealth. They value their absolute freedom to wake up every morning and do whatever they want over the temporary dopamine hit of a fancy zip code. This is not just a psychological theory. The real-world historical data behind mortgages and home ownership, absolutely terrifying for anyone trying to build wealth. A deep dive into amortization schedules reveals a devastating truth about real estate debt. When you take out a 30-year mortgage, the banking system heavily front-loads the interest payments. For the first decade, almost all of your monthly payment goes directly to the bank as profit, not toward owning the actual house. If you buy a $600,000 USD house with a 7% interest rate, you will pay over $830,000 USD just in interest to the bank over 30 years. That means your dream home actually costs you over $1,400,000 USD. Why does this number matter? Because it mathematically proves that your primary residence is a massive financial liability, not a magical wealth-building machine. That $830,000 USD in interest is money you simply surrender to the financial system. The data absolutely destroys the myth that buying a massive house is a guaranteed financial win. By pushing your budget to the absolute limit to buy a dream home, you are simply painting a massive financial target on your own back. Here's the part that surprises almost everyone. Highly intelligent, deeply educated people are actually the fastest demographic to fall into the dream home trap. Why do smart people willingly sabotage their wealth for real estate? It comes down to three deeply ingrained psychological traps that completely bypass human logic and intelligence. First, the social signaling trap. The human brain evolved over millions of years to actively seek status within the tribe. In ancient history, having higher status meant you survived the harsh winter. Today, society has decided that property ownership is the ultimate indicator of success. When you rent an apartment, society makes you feel like a failure. Your brain registers this societal judgment as a literal threat to your survival. Buying a massive house gives you a massive, artificial sense of total social safety. You falsely believe that because you have a giant front yard, society will protect and respect you. You literally trade your high-yielding digital assets for a massive pile of bricks just to satisfy your primitive biological need for immediate admiration. You pay a massive financial premium just to soothe your biological anxiety. Second, the emotional nesting bias. The human brain is a biological machine violently optimized to protect the family unit. When you walk into a beautiful open house, your brain immediately releases a massive wave of dopamine. You start visualizing your family gathering in the kitchen. You imagine the safety of the neighborhood. Logic completely disappears. Because you deeply love your family and want to provide the best environment possible, you justify spending an extra $100,000 USD that you do not actually have. You violently trade your future financial security to feed a temporary emotional high. You trap your family in decades of financial stress simply because the marketing brochure triggered your primitive nesting instinct. Third, the forced savings illusion. We naturally assume that paying a mortgage is exactly the same as putting money into a savings account. We view the house as a giant, unbreakable piggy bank. But the human brain completely tricks you. Because your wealth is trapped inside the drywall of your house, it is incredibly difficult to access when you actually need it. You violently procrastinate your actual investing because paying your mortgage feels like financial progress. You trade long-term financial clarity and liquidity for the short-term comfort of feeling like a homeowner. You protect your fragile ego, but you completely destroy your financial momentum. You cannot buy groceries or pay for medical emergencies with the equity trapped in your kitchen cabinets. Here's the catch. You can completely rewrite this toxic biological programming by attacking the root identity of your fear rather than just trying to buy more physical status. You cannot just rely on willpower to avoid buying too much house. You need a cold, hard system to protect your money from your own ego and nesting instincts. Decide that today you will implement the absolute housing cap. You must establish a strict mechanical rule, forcing yourself to value liquid wealth over physical square footage. Set a rigid mathematical boundary that your total housing cost, including the mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance, will never exceed 25% of your total take-home pay. You mathematically force your logical brain to take control back from your emotional brain. You brutally cap the amount of fuel your ship can consume, ensuring that a sudden financial storm will never sink your life. Decide that today you will actively separate shelter from wealth. Stop relying on your primary residence to perfectly fund your retirement. Your future self is just as insecure and exhausted as your present self. You must look at your house simply as a comfortable place to sleep, not as a magical financial savior. Set up an automated system that deducts a massive portion of your income into broad market index funds. You mathematically force yourself to buy truly productive assets, even when the real estate marketing around you is terrifyingly persuasive. You build an invisible fortress of liquid cash that actually pays you dividends while you sleep. Decide that today you will completely destroy the renting stigma. Never rely on the opinions of your neighbors to validate your financial choices. The opinions of strangers always fail to pay your bills when you are stressed and exhausted. You must decide today to view renting not as throwing money away, but as buying absolute flexibility. Renting caps your maximum downside risk. If the roof caves in, your landlord pays for it, not you. You must completely remove the human ego from your shelter. Your brain literally cannot panic over unexpected maintenance bills if your money is mathematically swept into index funds while someone else fixes the plumbing. Big takeaway: the absolute fastest way to stay permanently broke and stressed is to deeply believe that buying a massive dream home will magically save you from feeling inadequate. True wealth is not about showing off a giant house to strangers in your neighborhood. True wealth is about absolutely refusing to surrender your money to a primitive fear response. True wealth is owning the boring, invisible digital systems that keep your life running while everyone else is panicking over their massive property tax bills. True wealth is having the ultimate flexibility to change your mind, move across the country, and sleep peacefully at night knowing you do not owe the bank a single drop of your future labor. If you look at your past and realize you have completely panicked and bought a house that is suffocating your budget, take a deep breath. Do not panic. You are not stupid. You are not a lazy person destined for failure. You are simply fighting against millions of years of human tribal evolution that relentlessly prioritizes your immediate social status over your long-term survival. You are fighting this battle against a massive modern marketing machine designed to drain your wallet and lock you into debt. Having a desire for a beautiful home is completely normal. The problem is allowing that desire to financially enslave you. Acknowledging this psychological warfare is the very first step to escaping it. You have the ultimate power to step out of your comfort zone and fix the bugs in your operating system right now. If you found value in this breakdown, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can keep making these videos for you. Let me know down in the comments, what is the most ridiculous hidden cost of homeownership that completely blindsided you? Be honest, I read every single one. Also, check out this other video on the screen right now where we break down another massive investing myth. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.